Hello and welcome to OpSuite. In this short video we're going to show the inventory module within OpSuite. To get there, navigate to the left hand side of your screen, select the inventory icon, and you'll see items and departments and categories. I'm going to briefly go into departments and categories just to show the screen and the way that you can look up departments as well as categories. And if I go down my department list and let's just say we'll select education department, you can see that the categories within the education department are astronomy, English, math, and chemistry. If I were to go to games, you can see German games and video games and so on and so forth. You can also add or edit departments and categories just by clicking New or Edit in the upper right hand corner. I'm not going to spend any more time in departments and categories. Instead, I'd like to go into the items section and show you about the item record. If I go into item lookup, I will get to the item lookup screen, and like other lookup screens within OpSuite, you have a listing initially of all the items in your database. You can search for items by any number of different fields, but then you can also filter your results by each column. So as an example, if I were to go to description and select the contains operator and then type in time, the herb, into the description, hit enter, it's going to go out and find all records with time in the description. I could then further my filter if I liked by going to department and typing in something further and so forth down until I get exactly what I want. In this case I only received 3 different records back, so I can quickly say, oh yeah, this is the one that I wanted, and I can go ahead and hit select and go into the item record. When I go into the item record, you will note, like other records within OpSuite, that you have a header section containing most of the kind of important or common information about the item, and then you have tabs down to the bottom which include more of the details. Also up in the upper right hand corner you have the functional buttons like save, cancel, search, etc. To help you navigate around in the actual record itself. So, as you might expect, we have a SKU. In this case, they've decided to make the SKU time. Of course, that is uncommon. You would more likely have a number there or a barcode or something, which of course would be fine. Description, extended description, and then your subdescriptions, which allow you to further define the item. Over on the right hand side you have the item type, which you can choose from various different types. In this case it's a standard item. And then you can select your department, your category, and set up your MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price, price, cost, and margin. Now you'll note that some of the fields are listed in a bold font. That means that it is a required field. And these are editable, so you can choose when you set up OpSuite to have certain fields required and other fields not required. You might also notice that there's a little eye icon out to some of the fields. If you hover over that, you'll get a brief description of what that field should contain. Just a little help menu there, if you will. Now if I go down to the bottom of the record, you'll see we have fields like manufacturer, product line, unit of measure, and so forth. We have various settings available. You have the ability to set up aliases, which are going to be alternate numbers or barcodes by which this item can be referenced or scanned into the point of sale. Substitutes, various notes, and then continuing on across the tab list, you can set up commissions for the item. Now this would be related to a salesperson or a cashier down at the store level that might be selling the product and get a spiff or some commission for selling the item. Suppliers, you can have as many suppliers of the item as you'd like. One of them must be designated as a primary supplier, and then you can of course set up your reorder code, which is the reference number that the supplier uses, minimum order amount, minimum pack quantity, your supplier cost, which obviously gets updated each time that you receive or possibly transfer the item from place to place, if you so choose. You'll note that you can, if you had a lot of suppliers here, you can also filter and so forth the different columns in this tab as well. If I were to hit select, this basically brings up a screen to allow me to make the changes to each supplier, the reorder code, the minimum order quantity, etc. And then if I were to hit the supplier code, it will actually take me directly to the actual supplier record so that I could look at what other items this supplier carries, so forth. If I go to location detail on the item record, this is a real powerful section on the item record. It basically lists out all of the locations that carry this particular item, and it gives you their on-hand figures, their reorder point restock levels, quantity on order, committed, available. So you got a lot of information right here on the inventory section within the location detail tab. You can also see the cost and price of each item within each location. So again, I've hit cost and price. You can see the locations down the left-hand side: last cost, cost, price, A, B, and C, sale price, start and end dates for the sale price. You can also go to promotions and so forth as well. Before I do that, though, I'm going to hit select next to one of these store locations so that you can see that you can make modifications to the item record for the store on the fly. So I can come in here and say, well, you know, I needed to change the price A of this particular item to $19.99. Now, I may also want to make these changes not only for the Germantown store, but maybe I want to make them for all stores within the East Coast region, which I can do so by simply clicking Apply Changes to that level. If I only wanted it to be in the German store or Germantown store, then I could just leave it on Apply Changes to the Germantown store and hit OK, and that will be modified here on that particular record. If I were chosen more stores, then it would have affected more stores at one time. So you can see this is very simple to make modifications, and you can do that on each one of these screens. Now if I go to promotions, this would list out any promotions that are currently active on this item. And again, this is by location, so you can have a promotion for some of your stores for an item, but not all of your stores, which is very handy. We also have a custom area for custom fields, and then if this item is not assigned to all locations, or if you want to assign it to specific locations, you can hit the location button and then locate which locations you want to add or remove this item from, and you can do so there. So if I want to add it to LA Books, I simply click in the little checkbox out to the left and hit OK, and it would be added to that store. I can also take it away if that was my choice. Very good. And then we also have an associations tab. Currently this item is not associated with any specific associations, but this would include things like if this item is associated with a kit or a matrix or something of that sort. And then our hierarchy allows you to add this item to a hierarchy, so a parent-child type relationship. An example of that would be if I purchase this item in quantity, let's say dozens, but then I sell it in single units, I can set that hierarchy up here. I can also set it up to be purchased in certain units and sold in certain units, but not purchased and sold in other units, so that you can really be specific in how that's set up. Now if the item was a kit item, you would also have a kit tab, which then allows you to set up components within this item to become a kit. and then of course when you sell that item or order that item, it will actually sell or order multiple items, whichever items you have listed as components as well. So pretty handy when it comes to all of those different types. So that's really what I wanted to go through today in this video. Thank you for joining us, and join us for our next video.